So at some point I closed my eyes, and this is when the visions, true visions, have started. And in 1 second I realized that we are all loved beyond measure. Sometimes we do things, and when we regret, when we are sorry about something, this is our first punishment. Nobody punishes us more than we do to ourselves. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Elmira and I'm a psychologist with spiritual vibes. And in this channel we are discussing very interesting topics related to psychology, spirituality, coaching and self-development. And if you like any of these topics, then you're in the right place. But in this one, I would like to tell you the interesting experience that I went through just recently. As you might have known from my other videos, I am in Mexico. And when I'm in Mexico, I decided that I want to participate in certain shamanic ceremonies. And to be honest, I have participated in a few of them. One of them is ayahuasca. And I would like to tell you what happened in the last ayahuasca ceremony, which to me it was quite mystical or mysterious experience that I'd love to share with you. The ceremony went well. Half of it was really challenging for me, to be honest, and I can tell you how it was. You can see it from my first experience, which I've done first thing in the morning in front of the group. Here it is. So long, it's so intense that I felt that I don't know if I can do this. It feels like eternity. It feels like it's never ending. It feels like I'm exhausted. Before you're thinking, oh my God, that sounds so bad, let me tell you that the rest of the experience actually was quite rewarding. And what I saw in my visions benefited so much of the total experience that it kind of was worth going through this difficult experience before I got to the interesting and mystical experience in the end of it. But before I will tell you what I saw, let me tell you what happened a couple of days before that, so you could see how the story really unfolds. About 2 or 3 days before the experience, I've decided to sign up for one of the interesting online courses, which was all about mystical, metaphysical experiences, which is looking at various spirits that exist. And if you are into shamanic ceremonies or mediumship or anything like that, then you know that certain spirits or the invisible world exists side by side. So that's my belief anyway. So in the course, they will teach you about what kind of spirits around us, who are the angels, who are the spirits in between, what hierarchy they have, and how they affect humans in which way. So the course sounded really interesting, to say the least, right? Especially if you are, like me, interested in anything to do with paranormal stuff. And I can tell you that as I was growing up, I've experienced quite a few paranormal experiences. So this is why I am interested in everything that is dealing with the afterlife, with the spirits and so on. So in the course that I signed up for, the teacher was explaining that certain things are not what we think they are. An example he was giving is that when you think about angels, what do you think they are and what they look like? Well, we all think that they're cute or beautiful with wings, maybe without wings, but still they're very handsome and beautiful looking creatures, right? So he was explaining that in reality, they might look quite horrifying to us if we really saw what they look like. And in certain scriptures, there is a description of them looking like a wheel with one eye and some other giant masses of energy and things like that, which would be frightening to us if we saw it in real time. And the second thing he said is that you think angels love you? Well, think of it like that. When you have your clients at work, if you have your business, for example, or you are in customer service, when you have your clients, do you love them? No, you don't. You just treat them with kindness, with respect, and pretty much that's it. And he was explaining that angels are pretty much like that. They treat us with kindness, they do in their service of looking after us and doing whatever they need to do for us, giving us guidance when we ask for it, whether we receive it, whether we hear it or not. And pretty much that's that. They don't love us. And he said, and why do you think they should love us anyway? We are quite disgusting and horrible human beings, really, if you think about society in general, with all these wars and kidnappings and rapes and things like that. You know, humans can be quite awful. I don't know how else to say. We can be very kind and loving, but as a humanity, but we also can be on the other extreme end, and you know that. So the fact that he said that we are not always loved by angels, and that angels look horrifying, and they just treat us out of their kindness, of their service, and no more. With that mindset, I went to ayahuasca ceremony. And as you saw from the video from ayahuasca, which I done in the morning, as I say, the first 3, if not 4 hours, it was quite horrible. So after a while, after feeling nauseated, after feeling sick, after feeling that there are too many visions that I cannot even comprehend anymore. And mind you, not everybody sees visions in ayahuasca ceremony. Some people hear and some people have insights and they feel something and they're going through something. So it's not 100% that you will see visions. For me, I always see visions, and quite a lot of them. So at some point I closed my eyes, and this is when the visions, true visions, have started. I suddenly saw as if I'm in a beautiful building. The inside of the building was magnificent. It was a room, like a royal room. And there was a woman, and she was sitting there. She had kind, loving face, really beautiful, like a mother figure. And she was looking at me. And then I looked at her. And in 1 second, I realized that we are all loved beyond measure. And once you experience the love of the divine, or you can say the love of God, which I mean all that is, that powerful energy, once you experience that, you will never doubt ever again that that love exists. And another thing that they told me is that love is at the core of everything, is the primary and strongest emotions that we all have here. That everything, it's like a fabric of the whole world, and not just world, and I mean visible and invisible world. Everything is built out of that strong energy, which is love. And that's what they were showing to me. And within a second or two, when I experienced that love, I broke down in tears and I was crying and I was sobbing. Why? Because I felt ashamed that I was doubting the love of angels, the love of the divine power, all that is God. At that time, it just hit me that no matter how much I doubted from time to time, or we all doubted from time to time, whether it exists, whether it doesn't, whether somebody loves us or not, the divine side, the spirit side, they always love us. There is no even question about it. And when I was crying and sobbing, and it seems like for a long time, at some point I said, I am sorry, I'm so sorry that I even was doubting. And then somebody said to me, we forgave you, forgive yourself. And this is when I realized that the harshest punishment that we get, it's not from the divine side, it's not from the fate, angels, God, it's from us. We punish ourselves. That's what happens. Sometimes we do things, and when we regret, when we are sorry about something, this is our first punishment. Nobody punishes us more than we do to ourselves. I do believe strongly that when we die, we are going through that life review where we see certain things that we've done throughout life. And when we feel ashamed, we feel guilty, we feel sorry, we understand the errors of our ways, and this is when we punish ourselves. And the another interesting thing is that during those visions, I suddenly saw an angel, and it was a little girl, like a cherub. And I started interacting with her, and I said to her, you're not my guardian angel. you're too little for that. And she said to me, but I make you smile. Which was true. I was just smiling like a Cheshire cat. And then at some point the vision changed, and I saw a guy who was a young, youthful spirit, and he started interacting with me. And then I said, you are my guardian angel. Now I know. I so wanted to meet you in my visions. And he said, yeah, I am. And you can interact with me. You can talk to me every day. And the third angel I saw that night, it was another type, which was more mature looking guy. He had white hair down to his shoulders. And they all have such kind and loving faces. And when I looked at him and I said, who are you? What's your name? And he said to me, Metatron, which made me so happy because I have a picture of Metatron, which from time to time I ask for protection. Needless to say, I cannot continue with that course. Not because the information isn't correct. Partly, yes, it isn't correct. We are loved. Please don't doubt about that. We are loved beyond measure. But the main thing, what they've showed to me in my visions, is that when somebody is making you doubtful, especially about the divine love, think about it, that you have light within, which is bright. That's our safety, that's our protection, that is our connection with God, or with the divine, all that is, whatever resonates with you. And when somebody is making us upset, doubtful, negative, angry, frustrated, this is when our light diminishes and it becomes smaller. And this is what they explain they don't like to see. Because when we are positive, happy, when we are believers, when we talk to our angels and spirit guides, when we are in gratitude or prayer, this is when our light shines, our frequency goes up, and we help this planet to get its frequency up as well. It is very important to keep shining bright. That's what I would say. That was the message from the last ceremony. We are loved beyond measure. We are always protected. We can always ask for support and for love. One thing you can do tonight, you can meditate, and after 3-5 minutes, you can ask your spirit guide or your guardian angel to come forward and to give you that hug and that experience of love, and you will feel it. Well, I hope you loved my story like I loved that experience. And if you did, then please like it, share and subscribe it. And I will see you in my next video.